General Assembly. Welcome to our last meeting of the year. Happy December. I like I like the sweaters, by the way. Thank you for those of you who are sweaters. I think Patrick Vaughn is currently in the lead for just best overall sweater. So if you don't get a chance to, make sure you check out his sweater because I'm jealous at least. But Secretary Digby, could you please start us off with attendance?
Sure.
Great.
Representative Torres. Representative Choi. Representative Asali.
Present and voting.
Representative Legman. Representative Chen. Representative McGarry. Representative Amin. Representative Rooker.
President voting.
Representative Macedonia. Representative Christofferson.
I am present and I am voting.
Representative Sarda. Representative Lee. Representative Tingley. Representative Rangaswamy. Representative Huang. Representative Thompson. Representative Stump. Representative Srikanth. Representative Feaster. Representative Marshall. Representative Lambert. Representative Kohlmeyer. Representative Hakeem. Representative Janini. Representative Toomey.
Present and voting.
Representative Monticello. Representative Shaw.
Happy holidays, present and voting.
Representative Sabe. Representative Beckman. Representative Mahmood. Representative Huffman. Representative Huffman. Representative Cunningham. What? Never mind. Representative Brown Graves.
Present and voting.
Parliamentarian Gladys. Internal Development Chair Dooner. Yeah, that's good. That's about it. Treasurer Ridgway.
President, just present.
And Treasurer Payne. Shucks. Oh, that's sad. Speaker McKee.
Present.
VP Brown.
President voting.
VP Gallo. Oh. Okay, I get it. VP Fitch. VP Williams.
Present and sweatering.
Nice. VP Vaughn.
Present and voting.
President Hale.
Present and out of class a half hour early.
Nice.
Very pleasantly surprised to see you joining us.
Happy holidays.
If you could all please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. Okay, to kick off the evening, we're going to have a few guest speakers. To start off, we have representatives from the Student Sustainability Council here to give us a brief update on their progress from this semester and things they've accomplished. So, if you would please.
I know I sent it to someone, but I don't know who I sent it to, so.
You can just keep it with you on the podium.
Oh, okay.
Whatever you prefer. I got your back. Deep breath.
Hi, everyone. I'm Elena Statue. I'm the outgoing chair for the SSC
And I'm Abby Twernick. I'm the incoming chair for SSC.
for next semester. So we're just here to give you an update on what we did this past semester and what we plan to do next semester. So this is just a list of the projects we did or are still ongoing but started in the fall. So I'm not going to go through the whole list because you can read it, but I'll pick a few highlights. We had the 3rd annual Farm Harvest Festival. Apple pickings in parentheses because that's something we did as a group as part of an advertising campaign because we gave out apples to people on the quad, but we also just went apple picking beforehand to get these apples at a farm like a half hour away from here, so it was fun. We're working with Housing and Residence Life on a Green Your Room certification program, which you guys should ideally see next semester. It's just a program. If you live in the dorms, you're able to certify your room, residence hall, sorry, to certify your room at certain levels, like how green your room is and how you could improve it. And it's an online like quiz you take, and you're sent sort of a certificate via email. And there's ways you can post it on Twitter or Facebook and different things like that. So it's pretty cool. And we're also working on special items recycling. So this is batteries, small electronics, and fluorescent bulbs. Am I right? And ink cartridges. Yes, that will be in Fribley and Wade. So we're working on the marketing for that. So you should see those next semester as well. And the 3 events at the bottom that are either upcoming or already happened are going to be zero waste this year. So, and then we'll talk a little bit more about the sustainability speaker series that we do with Housing and Residence Life, which started last spring, and we continued that this semester with one event for each month, and there's a theme for each month involved with the event. We're working, this will be more of a long-term program, but it's a surplus program where at the academic campus sort of gets an inventory of all the additional items they may have over the course of the year this semester, and they're able to sort of exchange those items so they can save cost and time of buying new supplies if, for instance, one department has more of something that they need. So it's just an idea that we're working on right now with the Office for Sustainability. One of our members, Dan Giannini, who you all probably know, is working on greening the Greek chapters. That's at the bottom of the list. He's trying to put together sort of like a Green Your Greek chapter program, and he's just starting the initial phases with that. And the rest of it is just some sort of internal development things we did, some outreach, and more we'll talk about in the presentation. So I wanted to give you more of a detailed explanation on the Farm Harvest Festival, since that's our major event in the fall. So it happened Saturday, October 6th from 12 to 6. And our attendance this year, we had 500 undergrads, 100 graduates, a dozen faculty, staff, and alumni with their families. And these are fairly accurate, but I just put approximate because we were counting tickets, different colored tickets, depending on who was coming, as a way for us to figure out the types of people that are coming to the Farm Harvest Festival. And this year we had a variety of different volunteers that helped us. So we had SSC members and also various fraternities and sororities come out, as well as the Cecil Civic Engagement Scholars. A few of them came out. We had student workers from the summer that worked at the farm come, as well as the staff, and then various RHA community councils sponsored some tables there. And this is just a breakdown of our budget from this year, showing where the money was going toward for food, transportation, marketing, which the marketing mostly went toward our budget. That was all the flyers and different things we were purchasing. Volunteer t-shirts, which this year, if you notice, they were dark green and there was a zucchini on the back. And last year they were red with a tomato on the back. So every year we do like a different vegetable and color. So that's kind of cool. So if you have any ideas for what next year's vegetable should be, let us know. I'm thinking yellow and squash, but that's just me. We had staffing for valet parking if people brought their cars, as well as all the tent tables and chairs and portable toilets we had to purchase. And there's a list of donors. It's kind of a long list, but it just shows the variety of people who helped us, which was a lot of student groups, as well as some offices and departments, and individual people as well gave us a personal donation. And these are just some pictures from the event. So if we go top left, there's the farm food table. So this is the farmer's market that the farm does over the summer and sort of into the fall. There's some performance groups here. I think, can't remember what group that is, so I'm not going to just take a guess. Case in point, everyone knows. Okay, cool. And then there's the food from Bon Appetit, and then there was a Zumba class as well as a yoga class from 1 to 1. But the Zumba class had better attendance than the yoga class did, and it was a great day. So the class was outside. Then Bon Appetit did a cooking demonstration. There's the planting the herbs in the greenhouse. We had the memory basket weaving, so people write memories they had of previous farm harvest festivals or current, and they weave them into this basket that we're hoping to build over the course of many years so the farm staff can have it as a keepsake. And then there are s'mores outside. That's the last picture there. There was hay rides and then cookie decorating, which was hosted by a community council. We, of course, had waste stations associated with the event and people staffing those, and coloring was hosted by another community council.
So I'm going to talk to you guys about the Sustainability Speaker Series a little bit more, because we've really kind of, I guess, revamped it this semester because we started having it in our normal meeting time from 7:30 to 9, so all of the SSC members can make it. And we've been trying to have a campus person, whether it's a professor or someone who works here, to speak about a certain subject, as well as a community member that matches that. So on Wednesday, September 26th, it was basically themed around campus because it was the first one of the semester. We got the most people. So we had Jean Matthews, who's the director of facilities, Stephanie Corbett, who's the director of sustainability, and Aaron Kohler, who's our current recycling manager. And it's really exciting because Stephanie and Aaron both just started last year. So they're very new to this campus. They've been doing a lot. So, and then on October 31st, which was Halloween, might not have been the best plan, but we had it on environmental economics. So we had Ron Jones, who's the CEO of a company called Evergreen Cooperatives, which is super cool. It's been really like revamping Cleveland economically and focused on sustainability stuff. And then Justin Gallagher, who's a professor in the economics department. And then in November, we had it on local foods. So we had Todd Alexander from Central Roots, which is a super cool little urban farm on West Side, which you can volunteer at. So if you're interested, let us know. And Caitlin Hearn, who some of you may know, and she's a student here, who did a AmeriCorps Vista program. So they were just talking about kind of their experiences on urban farms over the summer. So next semester, I'll be the chair, so it's kind of scary. We're gonna do some sort of collaboration with the Philosophy Society because they contacted us talking about collaborating. So we're gonna do something on climate ethics in February, hopefully. And then during Engineers Week, we're hoping to have a joint collaborative thing with Stand on conflict-free minerals and metals. And then ideas for S Cubed, which are really exciting because we have a lot of them. But some of them are upcycling, which is basically like making jewelry out of recycled things and that kind of stuff. Animal rights and cosmetics and food, and green buildings, such as like LEED certification and that kind of subject. And then Recyclemania, obviously, is one of our biggest events, and that's going to be from February 3rd to March 30th. And then we're going to keep zero wasting events and try to make that a bigger, more known effort on campus. We're hoping to help Dan with the greening of Bag It and Grab It. And then the biggest thing is really off-campus learning opportunities for us as members and, of course, members of the campus as well. So we try to do trips to Cuyahoga Valley National Park, doing trail restorations and things like that, and then beach and stream cleanups. We want to go to Medwish, because I'm not sure if you've ever been there, but they have a huge warehouse, like full of medical supplies that would otherwise be in the landfills. And then we're also hoping to volunteer at Central Roots. And that's us at retreat.
Yeah, those are end of semester retreats. I just wanted to show the members. They're at my house currently, but we did go to the sheep barn for our retreat, which is at the farm. So yeah. But that's just what we did this semester. So I don't know if there's any questions. But.
Are there any questions for the SSC? Representative Shaw?
So you guys mentioned zero waste events, which sounded really cool. I was wondering if there's anywhere online that we could find a set of guidelines or something like that to try to create, or for any events that we're involved in, try to make it zero waste.
So the Office for Sustainability actually is hoping to come out with some sort of like green your event checklist that they're still working on. So that'll, like, once that comes out, it'll be very well known. But for now, you can email Erin Kohler if you want to green an event, and she can kind of help you set that up and like determine what kind of setup you want and all that kind of stuff. So I can give you her email if you would like.
Thank you.
Any other questions for now? Okay. Seeing none, thank you guys very much for coming. If you do have any more questions that you think of either tonight or at any time, you can send them along to President Hale, and he would be happy to pass them along to the SSC and get you in touch with them and make sure your questions get answered. Moving along to our next guest speaker is Representative Ranagoswamy here. Yes, he is. We're going to get a Pizza Olympics report on how the event ran, and I believe a little bit of PRing that will be going on continuously. But anyway, Representative Ranagoswamy.
Alrighty. So before we get to the video, I just want to share a bit about the results. You guys, if you got the email, Pizza BOGO did win. A huge congratulations to them. The cheese first place was Pizza BOGO. For meat was Bon Appetit. For veggie was Guys, and for specialty was the Jolly Scholar. One thing I just wanted to just say right off the bat is just thank you so much for anyone who supported at any level making this event happen. It would have not happened to the level that it happened without anyone, especially James Hale. You did a lot of really cool stuff with your PR ideas and the logistics and stuff. Connor, I truly appreciate your interviewing, which you'll get a little glimpse at. And we actually have quite a few notables, if you will, in the video of our USG members who pop up here and there. Not to name drop anything, but Colin and Tom Dooner. Anyhow, let's click play and watch away.
This year we fed over 1,000 students. Let's see what they had to say.
Both their cheese pizzas, they were both cheesy. It's better. It's more, it's a better pizza experience. I've got lots of money to a lot of different places. Giving out some gift cards, getting some feedback, you know, something fun, something chill. So I'm just gonna go around the table.
I like doing because they have like different options for regular pizza and their crust is like fluffier, I guess. I think my favorite was La Pizzeria. I think I had pepperoni and sausage from there, and my favorite part was the crust. Because I don't normally like crust, but I actually liked theirs, so that was good.
You said you like Bon Appetit L3. What is it that you like about L3?
I really like the crust on the pizza, like how they cook it in the oven, so it's like...
Papa John's, the Jolly Scholar.
You also like the guys.
I like the Papa John's.
Yeah, I'm some Papa John's too.
Yeah, the crust was like real buttery. It was real nice.
Alright, so what kind of pizza are you eating?
I'm about to eat Hawaiian. I can say pepperoni and mushroom.
Alright, where's this from?
Pepperoni and mushroom from Mom Santa's. It's from the pizzeria.
Alright, so what's your favorite thing about each of those pizzas?
The crust.
Alright, so have you had this pizza before?
I've not. I'm actually pretty excited about
Alright,
what's going on here.
alright, so what other pizzas have you had today?
Valentino's is awesome. I had their cheese just recently. It's real good. What else is good? I liked Dewey's. Dewey's is really good too.
Alright, so it looks like the pizzas here are amazing, and it's going to be a tough competition.
You enjoyed the pizza. Any particular vendor that you find fancy you really enjoyed so far?
Well, I'm a vegetarian. I really like La Pizzeria.
Okay. What about it?
I'm from Chicago, so like usually I would say that I would get the big crust pizza, but here I really like their
cost or the consistency? So I'll ask what kind of stuff to make it a lump.
I like the thin crust, actually.
So you like something to be not as filling, just like a good fill, but not like, oh my god. I'll address that in a second.
Symbolically destroying cancer.
So as you can tell, it was quite the crust love fest. When William Wetterson went through the videos, he told me he was fed up with hearing the word crust. I don't blame him. And almost every vendor got some positive feedback in the video, so it's good from that perspective. It wasn't like one-sided or something. It was just fun. It was silly. Some really awkward moments, some funny moments. And I think it just sort of brings out the spirit of Pizza Olympics. We're out there to have some fun. We gave out over $1,000 in gift cards, and we really made the vendors feel like they're getting some value out of it, and I think that's huge. And the minute they feel like they're getting value, they're going to continue working with us. So long term, we can look at more sustainable approaches to running Pizza Olympics. So, thank you for that opportunity to run it. I hope you guys enjoyed that. We did give all the winners certificates. They'll look obviously different for each vendor, different colors depending on what place they got or whatever. Gold for first, bronze for third, silver, gray, I don't know what color that is, for second place. But there'll also be a plaque for BOGO they'll get during Twing Study Over. But that's the gist of it. Thanks again to everyone who helped out. If anyone has any questions, comments about the event, really short, succinct things they want to say.
Any questions for Representative Ranagoswamy? Representative Brown-Graves?
What was the specialty pizza that got one?
The specialty, what I told the vendors was, get creative. What do you feel your pizza shop makes that's special? That's how I define specialty.
Yeah, and so the one from Jolly Scholar that won, what kind of pizza was it? Do you know? Do you remember?
I don't know off the top of my head. I would ask the Jolly Scholar, though. They clearly did something right.
Representative Toomey?
I can actually answer that. It was a stuffed pizza with barbecue brisket, and it was delicious.
There you go. There you have it.
Any other questions or comments? Okay, seeing none. Thank you, Representative
All right, thank you.
Ranagoswamy. And thank you again for all of your hard work that you put into making Pizza Olympics happen. It really takes one person stepping up to coordinate everything, so a lot of congratulations to you from us. Moving along in our agenda, we'll go right into old business. Are there any further nominations for engineering representative?
Because
Oh.
that's how execs set the agenda.
Oh, my printed version of the agenda is apparently incorrect. My apologies. So, we'll be moving into open forum first. Sorry, my mistake. Are there any discussion points for open forum for tonight? Remember, these are anything that you sort of just want to bring up and get feedback from the assembly on, any discussion in those regards that could really use assembly-wide attention. Are there any points for open forum? President Hale.
So I have a question that some folks on exec were poking at for a while, and I'm still curious because I feel like it's kind of nebulous. But I want to know what your guys' thoughts, I don't know how to say that grammatically correct, what you guys think about whether or not we ought to move to have one residential village. something the Board of Trustees is considering right now. But what are you guys thinking about getting rid of Southside, basically, moving everything to Northside?
Representative Christofferson?
I've actually thought about this a lot, and I think it would be really, really good, because then it would essentially bring all the students together in one area, and then like things that happen on Southside, when I'm on Northside, I'd just say I'm not going to go to it. So it would lead to more unity.
Representative Macedonia?
I mean, I know I just had a conversation with my RA saying like she is thinking of switching her assignment as an RA to like being an RA on Southside because it's been so cumbersome for her just like trying to get around because her like sorority is on Southside and everything like that, and she just says it's like a major pain for her to have them both. So I definitely think that sounds like a good idea from that perspective.
Representative Legman?
Just from a logistics standpoint, how are we going to, sorry about that. Logistics standpoint, how are we going to be able to fit all the students on Northside in terms of housing, meal plan, etc.?
Representative Thompson?
Everything would be rebuilt. So there'd be I know a little about this. So there was this plan originally, probably about 10 years ago, to move everything to Northside, and they would like rebuild all of Northside, make a Greek row, everything. So that's what I assume they would have to do, basically.
Representative Huffman?
Okay, so I just wanted to, I guess, kind of agree with what a lot of other people have said. I think it's hard for a lot of sophomores and sometimes Greek people who live like on the opposite side of most of the rest of their class. But at the same time, I have fond memories of Michelson, and it would break my heart a little bit. But
Representative Sarda?
I'm for moving everyone to Northside because also one benefit of that would be that the whole school would kind of come together more. Because if you think about it, say the freshman class from this year or the first year class from this year, excuse me, and the second year class from this year, they won't really interact or mingle or anything as much until the second year class is last year. So they only get 1 year together, which is their last year at Case. So it brings the school together as a whole more.
Representative Veronica-Swamy?
I know that, if this plan was made, more facilities would be moved to accommodate it, master plan. I think the one thing that kind of concerns me is I know some Greek housing is owned by the chapters themselves, so I'm not sure how exactly that would work. I think it would be really awkward to have like 2 Greek chapters on Southside or something, and then everyone else is on Northside. I don't know the specifics of that. That's just something to keep in mind.
Representative Giannini?
Point of information, or however, just an answer to that. All the Greek chapters that own their houses are on Northside. There's none on Southside that own their houses. Like I was just talking to Amy Jackson, who's in charge of Greek life, about this like a month ago.
Any other points for discussion? Representative Astley?
This may or may not be a good idea, but is there a way that we could ask the actual students as a whole instead of just us discussing this?
I think that'd be a great thing to do.
Okay, sorry. That was all.
Representative Toomey?
And we can all go do that by going and asking all of our constituents, because that's our job.
Any other points for discussion? Vice President Williams?
Maybe as a help for discussion to think beyond the possible of what is, think beyond the possible of what's there now, and just looking at the big picture of, obviously there's a lot of logistics to figure out. So looking at like the big picture, what would this mean for the campus, and what would this mean for the livelihood of our constituents?
Representative Rooker?
I think that this could be a good idea, but I don't know what would happen to everything on South Side, because I think there'd have to be a plan to put that to use in some way. I wouldn't want to see it just like go away.
Representative Thompson?
So in the original plan, currently the university doesn't provide housing at all to graduate students. So they would convert the South Side housing in, I don't know if they would rebuild it or whatever, but somehow it would become graduate housing.
Representative Macedonia?
As a point of information, what would be the timeline for this? Saying like the initiation of it, and maybe like how long it would even take? Because I have like no idea when this would take place or anything.
President Hale?
So we're talking like 20 years in the future. Master plans take a long time to pan out, and the current master plan is going to be revised along with the strategic plan. So, don't worry about this happening tomorrow. It won't happen while we're all here.
Representative Huffman?
Okay, also, I don't know exactly what you're doing with these comments from tonight, but one thing that I definitely gave people feedback on with the new student center when they were collecting student opinions on is I think it's really important to have enough green space and just like open space and common space on campus. So it does concern me sometimes when like I don't know. I know that like they're always going to be like, we're going to build this cool new building and it's going to attract new students, and like there are really important reasons to do stuff like that, but just like to put thought into the planning. But I'm sure there are people doing that. So
Representative Legman?
Just another point. One of the things that I really like about South Side is that there's Fribley right there near the quad, and in any plan to move completely to the north side, I was just wondering if there's any plans to keep a dining hall such as Fribley open on South Side. This way, if you're on the quad, you can get something to eat at lunch.
Any other points? Representative Giannini?
And I'm sure like this is probably being considered, but our university did sign a climate action plan guaranteeing carbon neutrality by 2050, which seems kind of like a lofty goal, but trying to, whatever we decide on this, or if we're going to make new buildings, trying to make sure that fits into that plan. And like, I know we've done that with the village, how those are LEED certified, but trying to make sure all this new development is sustainable as well.
Any other points? Okay, seeing none for now. If you do have anything else that comes up, again, just email it along to President Hale, and he would be happy to collect that feedback as well. Are there any other topics for open forum to discuss? Okay, seeing none, we'll move along into old business now. First is Anise Grant here. Great. So are there any further nominations for engineering representative who are with us tonight? Okay. Seeing none, we do have a nominee who is here. Representative Thompson?
Move to close nominations.
Okay. With that, Anise, if you would please approach the podium, that'd be great. Or if you'd prefer, you can stay at your seat. There's a microphone there too. I notice you're on crutches and it can be a little hard to navigate around. So whatever is easiest for you. Okay.
So, good evening. I won't take too much time, but as you already know, I'm Anise Grant. I'm a junior polymer science and engineering major. And up till now, I have been involved on campus, but mainly that has been in some more fun things like Voices of Glory, but also in Ashland Black Engineers. And the reason I'm here today is because I would like to continue in interacting with the campus in the same way I was able to with NESB, in the sense of trying to improve the engineering experience at the campus and hopefully to improve attrition rates within the school, so you don't have freshmen saying, because of one 131 class, or because of one SAGES class, or because of one math class, that they're done with the major completely, especially given that the rewards or the interest of engineering isn't necessarily just limited to that one class that was so difficult. So the reason I'm here today is so that I feel in being part of USG that I would be able to more greatly impact these students and create change that will even more effectively improve it beyond just being a mentor as I am now, or beyond trying to give them the resources and the professional network that can help make sure that maybe a lackluster GPA, they'll still be able to market themselves well and get a job in the end. But I want to make it so that while they're at Case, they're still enjoying that experience within the school. And so the committee that I would like to work on would be the academic affairs, especially given what I've been saying about trying to improve that experience within the engineering community. And I understand that being part of USG could be a great time commitment. However, this year, especially in this coming semester, I've made a great bit of time where I'll still be able to commit the time I have to my lab, to academic affairs, as well as to my current leadership position, which is mainly just Voices of Glory this year. But also I'll still have a lot of time to dig deep and put a lot into my position in USG. So, any questions?
We do have time for one quick question if there is one. Are there any questions? President Hale?
What do you think is the biggest issue facing students academically right now?
Academically, I guess, I think if there is a way to allow upperclassmen to more actively engage, or maybe give them more avenues more than just you're friends with someone, you're in an organization with them, I feel like that's one thing that could really help, because I think that's one of the ways that I've seen students make it out a little better, and I know that's how I've been able to make it out and make it through this department a lot better, is that people especially sought me out and being able to connect with them, not just my TA, but someone I feel like a more genuine relationship with. That has greatly improved, and actually that's the reason why I'm still in engineering. I didn't just say, well, that class is really hard, or it's really hard right now, that test. I was able to actively engage with other people in the major, and that's also something I'm trying to work with in my department specifically too, because we're trying to create student organization theirs, because we don't have that big of a department, but it's big enough that we want to make sure that the freshmen that we are getting as we are growing, that we're retaining them, and that they can see the value in their major, and also not feel like, well, I'm kind of a polymers major, but I don't know anyone else within. So in building more of a community aspect within that, we're hoping to improve it.
Okay, thank you very much. If you could please step out while we discuss. Okay, we'll move into discussion. I'll set an initial limit of 3 minutes. Vice President Vaughn.
Anise went on Case Leads 2 years ago, and she has been talking with me about USG for like basically that entire time, and just was waiting until she felt like she had enough time to commit to it, and we talked about it a lot. So she's definitely prepared for this and excited about it.
Representative Christofferson. Is there any dissent to closing discussion? Okay, seeing none, we'll move into the vote. Please vote now. A, yes, in favor of electing Anise Grant to a vacancy in the engineering caucus. B, no, opposed, and C, to abstain. Well, you can vote by hand. Are you in favor or affirmative? Okay, great. Okay. If you could let her back in. Congratulations, Denise, and welcome to USG. Moving along in old business, are there any further nominations for nursing representative? As a note for these nominations, since they will be filled starting next semester, that means freshmen will then be eligible to run for those vacancies. So freshmen can now be nominated as well. So are there any further nominations for nursing representative? Vice President Brown?
Kathleen Brennan.
Any others? Okay, those will remain open. If you do have any over the break, please send them to Parliamentarian Gladys, and she will get in touch with the nominee. Are there any further nominations for the Weatherhead representative position? We do have one nominee here tonight, so the person would have to be in attendance. Okay, seeing none, we do have a nominee here tonight. Representative Thompson?
Move to close nominations.
Okay. Ms. Chen, if you could please approach the podium.
Hey guys, just in the interest of time, I'm just going to open the floor up to any questions.
Are there any questions? Representative Kamai?
What is your past experience with USG?
I go to finance committee like every Thursday, so I think that being part of GA would be a like greater way to get involved.
Any other questions? Oh, President Hale, my apologies.
What is the biggest issue facing crew students today?
Crew students, just like maybe not knowing like how the USG process works, sort of like I know when we did mass funding, a lot of people were not really educated on like how the process is run, and like there might be like a little bit of transparency issues that they face. So just like their involvement with different organizations and trying to like educate them about like how funding works maybe will help it.
Any other questions? Representative Shaw?
What do you feel is the best mechanism by which to reach out to the student body?
Can you clarify that, like in what means, or regarding what?
Whether that's mainly pertaining to gathering input on issues like the one that we just discussed about the north side, south side student relocation.
I think the moderator that USG has right now is like a really good medium. But like maybe opening up more forums and like inviting students and like luring them with food would be a really great way also.
Any other questions? Okay. Seeing none, thank you, Ms. Chen. If you could please step out while we discuss. And if we could please mute the recording equipment.
I work with Stephanie